Hello, this is Samadan. In the last episode, Samadan made his way all the way up to Western Plaguelands. In this episode, we're going to have a look at Samadan and see how he got on with those material flips and herbs that he reset the market on last time. We currently have 3,494 gold, a few bits and pieces left over. Let's go head to the mailbox and see if we had any sales. I'm very interested to see how this herb flipping went. We tried a lot of different ones out, so it'll be interesting to see which ones sold and which ones didn't. And we do have some sales. That's a good start. It's not the herbs, interestingly, looking at this lot. The white spider meat, tangy clam meat, true silver ore, star ruby, iron ore, so none of that is the herbs that we reset. The flamberge of the aurora, sold that for 108. And we have a nice message, thanks for buying some low-level herbs from me. That's a nice one. And then we have all of the herbs here that have expired. So that's interesting. So what that means is we're going to have to look at our average buy prices now, have a look at the herbs, and see how we can adapt from there. So 388 gold. Let's take all of this up, have a look, and then we'll have a re-look at the herb markets and see what's happened, because it's been quite a few days since I had a look at them. When it comes to resetting markets, it's always a better idea to keep an eye on the markets and just see how things go from there. Okay, so now we have 3,882 and a lot of herb stock. So this is going to be useful. What can we do with this next? So I'll run a post scan, but I'm going to take off the herbs group because that's changed somewhat since we last did our operations for herbs. Last time with herbs we were just selling what we had and we weren't taking into account the price that we bought things for. So we're going to have to probably think about doing something a bit different for those herbs now. But we'll run a post scan on all the other things. Okay, so that's everything set up. We'll just post all of these on. So those are the basics. We have 19,000 in posted auctions and 3,881 on Samadan himself.
The reckoning is at hand.
Now we need to look at the actual things and see what we can do with these a bit manually. At this point, eventually we will set up a group for this with its own operations. So in the Browse tab, let's have a look at the price of each of these, see where we're at. So Silver Leaf was one of the common ones. We bought that on average for 2 gold and 9. And so the price is now gone down. We've got another 600 odd at this price, so it would cost us even more to keep buying out this market. There's two things we could do here. We could either continue buying them out, or we can try and put ours on for at least a profit. We don't necessarily have to put all of it on, but as long as we're selling some at a profit, that would be useful. I would want to go here at maybe the 3 gold mark, so that we've got at least a bit of a profit on this lot. I'd maybe go here, and I'd post some up there. The maximum we have is the 455. It only costs us 13 silver to post them on at that. So a 24-hour post at this would be fine. See if we can generate any sales that way. If we did want to buy things out, it would cost us, all the way down here, it would cost us another 1,600 gold. And looking at my gold reserves here, that's too much of a proportion of my gold for me to want to do that at that stage. Let's move on to the other common one, Peace Bloom. So again, we're looking at our smart average buy price, which is 2 gold 80. This is actually just slightly higher than it, and this is 289. Then it jumps up to 304. So there's a potential here that we could maybe either just ignore these and come in here at 350. And then we could decide to buy those out if we really wanted to. If we post hours on here, if we do the maximum amount, again 14 silver, 24 hours, it's probably fine at that stage. And then it depends whether we want to buy these out or not. We'd look at the potential cost of that, and that would be 163 gold. So not a huge difference in our gold reserves. And it does mean we get a little bit more at the average market value of 4 gold, 24. So we could maybe take these off. And then we're guaranteed to be the latest at the moment, should anyone come along and want to buy some Peace Bloom. Moving on through the herbs, let's look at major oil. So we're looking at our smart average buy price, 167. So 180 is the price here, 151. then 199, and then 2 gold here. In order to try and get some sales, taking into account there's going to be a rough percentage of auction house fees on this, so you can't really go at exactly it, but we're talking about quantity here. We've got 351 at the moment. But again, if I could up it by another 20 silver per item, I would much rather be up here, or even up here at 249. So I'm going to go in here at 249. In fact, actually thinking about it, 299 would be even better. That's almost double my price though. You know what? I'm actually going to try for 199. We'll post some here. What I'll do is actually I'll spread my posts here. I'll post 100 at this price. I'll then post the rest at 251 at this price. That way, looking at that, I've got a little bit of the extra here, and I've got a little bit here, so that if that sells, then I've got some gold back. If it sells even more, then I've got a little bit extra gold back. Now, Briarthorn, smart average price is 343. That's quite high. It's all the way up here. I'd have to go here at 4 gold. And then looking at all of these, there's a few of them, not a huge amount, but I'd have to come in there and post in here. 317 at that price. But then if I wanted to buy those ones out, looking at that, I'd have to go down all the way here, and it's over 1,000 gold to buy those out. So an easy choice not to buy those out at this stage. Earthroot, and we are at 210. My average is 171, so that seems an actual reasonable price to post at that. So I'll go straight in there. Stranglekelp, now we did go quite high. We average buy price was 642. So again, we've gone here and up to here. So we want to be at least a gold higher, I would say. So up here, there's a large amount of them here at 496. So I'll go in here. Bruiseweed. So smart average is 168. That seems reasonable. It's a whole gold extra, so I'll go in there. King's Blood. Now there's a cheap lot here at 2 gold. My average is 257. I would be tempted to post here at 4 and take those at 357 and then actually buy those up at 2, because that is less than my average buy price. So I'll take those 7 there, and now I'm the cheapest. That would stop anyone from thinking that this is not the normal price and thinking that this is the normal price. I'll take the life route, and we are here at 305. There's 47 there. Smart average is actually 389, so we'd have to come in here at 405. Ideally, 455 would give me an extra 50 silver. Even better, 505 would be better here. There's not a huge number here between them. Depends on how many get bought before me. 530 is quite a lot, and the deposit cost is quite high on this lot, so maybe not the whole lot here. Let's go down to 12 hours and only do 200, so that we can keep our deposit fees a little bit more reasonable. And we'll save the rest for later. 274, again, it's here, 3 gold, 375. There's only one here at 308, so I'd go here at 375. Post those on. At 80, again, probably go for 24 hours here, just to give it a chance to go past these other ones. And then we have Goldthorn, not a lot of this. Big high price here, 47 gold. We bought for 35 gold, so let's try at that price. Deposit fee is fine at that, so I'll go for that. Golden Sandsum, average is 325, which is bang on there. So I wouldn't want to buy it, I wouldn't want to post them on it there. I'd probably more go here. So I'll post at this price. And then Soramos, our average buy is, we don't have a smart average buy price of this, because this is one of the things we've been collecting in the Swamp of Sorrows. So 1150 would be fine as a basic, see if we can sell any. And I'll go for a cheap deposit here of 12 hours, just in case. Actually, no, I'll go for 24, because it's not a huge deposit. Okay, whilst we're here, we have a couple of other bits with the cloth. Silk cloth is looking at 83 silver, that's cheap. And so I'm here at my smart average buy price is 78 silver. So I'd really want to come in, well, ideally at the 190 mark, I would say. These ones here are cheap. So I'm going to post here, and I'm going to go for 12 hours for this lot. And then I'm going to buy these ones, certainly those 7. The extra 60 would be 80 gold, so that's not a massive amount. It's a little bit higher than my average buy prices, but again, this being a relics thing might be interesting over the next few weeks, so we'll buy those up. And the Mage Weave, looking at this, currently 1 gold 20. Average buy is 1 gold, so we could jump up to 150. That's a big jump there from 150 to 2 gold, but then there's 262 here. So Mage Weave is, let's try for a little bit extra here. Just a little bit more than what we've got at the moment. So our average, smart average buy is 1 gold, so going to 150 gives us a little bit extra there. And that's a lot at 1,397. A whole 5 gold deposit fee there. I'd have to be very confident to post at that price. I'm going to save a little bit in reserve, so I'm going to go more for 500 here. And then if someone really wants to buy some up, they can buy some at this point, which would be maybe, say, another, oh, that's still at 150, hold on. I meant to be here at 2 gold. There we go, 2 gold there, and 95, let's try another 200 at that price. So we'll go there, so when we rescan there, we've got 2 price points, 500 at the cheap price, and another 200 at that price, just in case someone wants to buy up all of these up to 2 gold, which they might do. So that was the general thinking around repricing my herbs. Now I have to think about what would I want to do as a TSM operation, because there's a lot of value in doing something manually, because you get to see if you want to buy something out at the same time. So you're making decisions whether to buy, and you're making decisions to sell at the same time. If I wanted to make an operation to post all those herbs that I've just posted on back on, then what I would do would be to go into here, go into my groups, go into my herbs. So currently the operation is the mass DB market one. This isn't going to serve us now because we've got some average buy prices in here. So I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to add another operation. Now we've got the flipping average buy operation, which could be quite useful. We could have a look at that one. We'll add that one in and then take a look at the parameters of this one. So 12 hours, post cap 1,000. So the maximum between either 125% smart average buy and post at DB market. Now you could make a choice here, because there are chances, like we saw in our posting on of things, that I chose not to go at the rock bottom price, but I still posted things on. So what I would do in this situation is, when below minimum, I could change this. I've got 2 choices really. I could either post at the minimum price, which means at my rock bottom price, whereas if I ignore auctions below minimum price, that means that I won't automatically push the price down. I'll match the next one that's higher than the minimum price setting. So say for example my minimum price was 1 gold, and there were some on for 70 silver and there were some on for 1 gold 50. If I post at minimum price, I'd be posting them on at 1 gold. If I ignore ones below minimum price, then it would ignore the one at 70 silver and it would match the next lowest one, which is at 1 gold 50. So sometimes it's quite useful in situations like this to ignore auctions below minimum price. That way we're still in the market, but we're just ignoring those and hoping that someone else will buy those out. We can always then go down and have a look at those and decide whether we want to buy them up ourselves, depending on what the price is. It would be a 2-phase process. And then these at smart average buy, DB market, and 500% smart average buy would seem fine in this situation. And a post cap of 1,000 seems reasonable for these herbs at the moment, and 12 hours I would definitely go for. So we can use this operation. This operation would work quite well. We've just adapted it slightly with the when below minimum amount. Obviously I've just put all my auctions on manually, so There's no need to do that now, but for the next time I can try that and see how it works out.
The eternal
So whilst
sun
we're here,
guides
let's
us.
see if we do a vendor search, just in case there's anything we can make a little bit of gold on. Nothing there. We also might as well look at the relic side of things. So we'll go here to potential relics and run a shopping scan on these. There still might be some opportunities to make some more gold. We can work in two markets now. We can work in the herbs market and we can work in these relic materials markets. So far there's some interesting things coming up here. Now I've done a lot of research on relics, so I can look at these and decide whether any of these are going to potentially be a bit higher. Things like that raw beast hide is looking quite cheap. That's used in a Warlords of Draenor relic. You'd need 7 of those to make a relic 5, so that is actually really cheap. Obviously you can get these through the garrison as well. So looking at that, let me have a look at how that goes. 67 silver, then 1 gold, then it goes up to 1 gold 29. Even that seems relatively cheap, but these ones are definitely within our range. I would say 146 worth investing there. I will take those. Windwall cloth is incredibly cheap there at 30 silver. You can make things with bolts of windwall cloth. So here the next jump up is 78 silver, so it's a nice healthy jump. There's only 56 of them, so it's not a huge change, but easy enough to just flip into something else. Wool cloth is going to be used in making items, so 1 gold and 5 sounds reasonable. You could possibly push that up higher, 1 gold and 5 to 1 gold 70, and then from 170 to 214, so you could actually take those quite easily. Sumptuous fur is another Warlords of Draenor thing. 1 gold is about the average price I would think of for that if you're getting it yourself. The same with true iron ore. So 1 gold 20 is actually slightly higher. I wouldn't want to necessarily push those prices higher. Other things that I know are going to be used is things like the mage weave cloth, 21 there, if I have a look at that. A lot of people are going to be able to buy these things out. So we've got the ones that we put in here at 500 and 200. Our smart average buy price is 1 gold. So if we went 120 just to take those out, we could just encourage people to match our price rather than go below. So for 25 gold I would consider that. Linen cloth has gone up to 2 gold at the moment. I would say that's a healthy price. I wouldn't necessarily think I could push it much higher than that. We have purchased a lot for 34 silver at the beginning of this process. Last purchase 32 days ago. You can see how much the market has changed in that time. So I think I'll leave that at 2. Then let's have a look at copper ore is right up at 4 gold. That's nice and expensive. Rune cloth is the other one, which we've already got there at 2 gold 50. I think that's a few little things, nothing huge. Let's go and pick those up and post them back on. Now let's see how our operation deals with the prices when putting these on automatically with TSM. So we'll go to auctioning, we'll turn on herbs as well, and we'll run a post scan and see what this comes out at. So with our list here now, the Peace Bloom is coming in at 410. Our smart average buy is 282. So we're ignoring those ones. You can always look here at the auctions and see which ones are on. So if I go here to Peace Bloom, I can see that my 350 is here. And now you want to put some on at 410. Our minimum price is 353. Currently 125% of my smart average buy price. So we're ignoring any ones that are 353 and lower. So we look at the Peace Bloom here, and we're ignoring the 350 ones because those are slightly too high. So we're coming in here at the 4 gold 10. Windwall cloth is coming in at 1 gold. Our competition there for windwall cloth is all of this lot here. So that's probably quite a large amount. Our smart average buy price is 30 silver. Our min buyout is coming in at 91 silver. That could be down to the market value more than the 30 silver looking at those. So I may have to maybe change the percentages a little bit to get that to work how I want it to, because posting at that price wouldn't necessarily work. What you'd want to do, if I just adjust this for the purposes of learning this, so we go to our operation here, and you might want to adjust this slightly. maybe you want to reduce your margin a little bit on your smart average buy, maybe something like 115%. I mean, that's cutting it fine. That's not making a huge amount of profit. Ideally, I'd probably want it 120 at the most. We could maybe allow for a little more variation in the market, so you can maybe take that down to 60% as our minimum price. The minimum price is the important one here. This is us dictating what's going to be the rock bottom price. So if I went back and rescanned those, we're looking at the wind wool cloth now. So now it's coming here at 78 silver. Looking at the minimum price is now 78 silver, which is the same as the min buy out there. Our smart average buy is 30 silver. Looking at the auctions on here, so 78 silver, we're matching this lot here now. So that actually seems a better way of going about. So you can see how just a small change in the values makes a big difference as to where you're posting. So there's a lot to be said for doing this manually, because you can make those decisions one by one on the fly. At the same time, it's also very convenient to be able to do these things as part of a bigger operation, because then you can just post them all on. So looking at this, we've got thorium ore is now undercutting the competition. Our average buy was 3 gold, and now it's gone to 365. We're ignoring those ones, thorium ore. So we're ignoring 250 and 295. We're also ignoring the 3 gold one there as well, looking at that. So we're going to be coming in there. So I think from looking at these, let me just scroll down the rest. Silk cloth, 1 gold, 190. King's blood, 255, 4 gold. Peace bloom, 282, 350. Life root, 389. 5 gold. Wool cloth, 214, which is the minimum. Tin ore is going on now at 3 versus our 270. And the raw beast hide, 129. When we bought some for 68 silver, and the mage weave is giving us 150 versus the buying of it for 1 gold. So those seem reasonable margins. Let's post those on and see if we generate any sales that way. So whilst we didn't make any sales with those herbs in the new market, we are starting to understand what's the realistic bottom line for these. Obviously, everyone can do the same as what Samadan's been doing and go out and gather the herbs, so there's no real barrier to entry other than the time taken to go out into the world and collect them. So you can't necessarily control the prices that well in markets like this, but you might be able to get some opportunities of sales, depending on how much in demand they are, how much people are buying the herbs to level up their classic alchemy or inscription, or whatever else they might be buying them for certain things in the game. So there we have we're back up to 34,000 in posted auctions, 3,907 in total gold, so we haven't increased our liquid gold a huge amount here. It's all pretty much locked up in these investments on the auction house. So I hope you found that useful. Next time we'll be looking at Samadan and doing some more on his adventures there in Western Plaguelands, as well as checking back on our auctions here. Until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.